Hey there, students. Thank you for joining me for this presentation. Our focus for today is on U.S. government, and we're looking at the last unit, which is Unit 5, Economics, and we're also looking at the last tutorial, which is Economic Principles and Policies tutorial. Please remember to have your notebook ready to take notes, as you will use those notes to answer the questions that you will encounter for this tutorial. And our objective for today is that you will examine basic economic principle in economic systems. Let's move on. We are now on page 12 of the Economic Principles and Policies tutorial, and this is an activity that we've done before. All we're doing is we are reading basically all of this information here where it says pairs, and we're matching that information with the tile. So you look at the concepts right here in the tile. You have 5 different concepts. So all you do is you grab the concept or the term and you plug it where it belongs, and make sure that you do this correctly so that you'll get points right away for it. Let's move on. We are now on page 19 of Economic Principles and Policies tutorial. And right here, you're given a question and we need to answer it. So the question is, what is the primary difference between the principle of capitalism and socialism? Please make sure, and again, that you go back to your notes. You've been using notes already. You've been taking notes, and you should have an easy answer for this question here. If you're still stuck, use the internet, use the resources provided to you, and that you should be able to answer this question. Make sure that when you answer the questions that you're doing it in your own words. Do not copy and paste. You should give us a couple of sentences here in order to demonstrate to the teacher that you know basically the ideas of capitalism and socialism. Let's move on. We are now on page 22 of Economic Principles and Policies tutorial, and that we're doing the lesson activity, Economic Principles and Policies, Economic Systems. And please make sure that you read the directions, you read right here the activity part, you review the links that have been given to you right here and right here. That is extremely important in order for you to answer these questions. Let's read part A. According to the Heritage Foundation, what is economic freedom and what is the concept, and why is the concept relevant? Make sure that you are able to provide a good explanation as to what is economic freedom, and make sure that you use the resources again that you've been given in order to answer these questions. By the way, you should have a good solid paragraph here. Let's move on to part B. How does the Heritage Foundation measure economic freedom? Well, first of all, you need to know what economic freedom is, which you did in part A. Once you know exactly what economic freedom is, then you can actually answer part B. How does the Heritage Foundation measure economic freedom? What are those factors that contribute to economic freedom? What constitute economic freedom? Who do we have here in the United States economic freedom? Who benefits from economic freedom? Does the entire country benefit from it? Do only a small number of people benefit from it? I don't know. You tell me on part B. Part C says, the press release overview lists the 10 most free economies and 10 least free economies. What are your initial thoughts when you compare the countries? Right here, it's like your own opinion. You're providing obviously an opinion based on what you were reading before, and give us a couple of sentences here to describe and answer the question. And if you can, always provide evidence when you're answering question. And part D says, compare the economic freedom ratings and descriptions of Hong Kong. Make sure you click on this link, and the United States and Iran. Make sure you click on all 3 links so that you can answer your this part here actually of this activity. Record your findings in the table provided below. So you look at Hong Kong, what is the GDP, unemployment, inflation, and overall scores. And then you look at the United States also, and you do the same thing. And then you go and look at Iran, and you do exactly the same thing. So it's fairly simple. You're just grabbing information from these 3 sites, and you are basically just plugging in information here. Part E, which is the last part, it says you need to write a short 2-paragraph opinion essay about the information you have read and enter in the table below. How does economic freedom seem to correlate to countries' economic wealth and individual opportunity? Very good question. You have to use obviously all the information that you gather here before, like economic freedom, obviously how do you measure economic freedom, and then the freedom ratings and descriptions of Hong Kong, United States, and Iran that you have here. So you basically have all the information to put together a good 2 solid paragraph essay here. Make sure that each paragraph it's well detailed. You're providing enough information so that reader, or in this case your teacher who's reading your work, will be impressed by what you did. Now, thank you for being part of this presentation and doing a fantastic job in this economics class, and you have a good one.